right, Joe's bored. I'm Joe. This the show. It is Monday, April 28th, 2025, on the day I hit record. And today, we are going to only be talking about the Cleveland Browns 2025 NFL Draft. All their selections that they made, how I feel about everyone, how I feel the Browns did as a whole. That's all we're going to be talking about on this one. The Cleveland Cavaliers, as I'm recording this, are in the middle of completing their sweep of the Miami Heat. Get your brooms out, Northeast Ohio. That's the payback we finally got for them stealing LeBron from us once upon a time. But we're not going to talk about that. We'll talk about that probably Thursday. But before we talk about the Cleveland Browns, as always, this episode is brought to you by our guy, Jake from Progressive, at Progressive Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Massillon, Ohio. If you're in need of a new vehicle, walk into Progressive at Progressive Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram in Massillon, Ohio. Ask for Jake. Jake will get you in something that's right for you. All right. The 2025 NFL Draft has came and gone. Everything and anything that anybody had talked about up until that point of Thursday night when Roger Goodell walked to the podium in Green Bay, Wisconsin and said, the Tennessee Titans are now on the clock, got thrown out the fucking door. Got thrown out the fucking window as soon as the draft opened. Anything that I said, anything your favorite podcaster or host said. Sorry if there's flash going off. I got the Cavs game, as I said. I gotta watch them sweep, so there might be a little glare on the TV. If you're watching on the YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube. Joe's bored. Follow me on X.com, the Everything app. It's happening on X. Joe Stoner, CBD. You know, nothing changed there. But as soon as Cam Moore got selected by the Tennessee Titans, all hell broke loose. Literally an hour or two before the draft started, they were saying that Andrew Berry was fielding calls for the second overall pick in the first round. In real time, the tweets say it. In real time, I was very upset. I was really upset that they decided to pass on a generation. And it's not just they passed on one generational athlete in Travis Hunter, who could have really helped this team, but also an edge rusher, another generational athlete, in Abdul Carter. But recognizing that they weren't a Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter away is a lot of growth, I would have to say, from the standpoint of the front office. And they only had to go from 2 to 5 and ended up getting their defensive tackle that they wanted anyway in Mason Graham from Michigan. And apparently, according to everybody, the Browns got a haul. That's yet to be seen. They're only getting draft capital, and the draft capital has to turn into players at some point. So that is yet to be seen, as is anything with the NFL draft when you're reacting to who your favorite team took and fits and things like that. We have no idea until they take the field. Anything can happen. Anything can happen as soon as these guys put on their NFL uniforms and suit up for their teams in training camp. So anybody that gives a grade, anybody that says, oh, somebody killed it, somebody did that, they know fucking nothing, because we have yet to see if they're able to play in the league or not. So Mason Graham was our 5th overall pick that we traded back for, defensive tackle from Michigan. I'd have to say they addressed the need on the interior defensive line. Interior defensive line was one of the weakest spots that the Cleveland Browns had. And they got their guy, apparently, and Mason Graham. Apparently Myles Garrett handpicked him. So, again, TBD. The next pick the Cleveland Browns had was in the second round, 33 overall, Carson Schwarzenegger, linebacker, UCLA. Again, another position of need, another thin position on the depth chart that the Cleveland Browns had last year. Addressing it with Carson, who, if you didn't watch a lot of UCLA football this year, they anytime the Bruins were on defense, you heard Carson's name called like JOK's name gets called. Guy's just always around the ball, and even if his name wasn't called, he's just always flying to the football. So great pick, great value. Now, this next one that they acquired from Jacksonville is running back, second round, 36 overall, Quinshon Judkins from Ohio State. I know you Buckeye fans are happy about that. I get it for scheme fit. I wanted Travion Henderson. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. I would have taken Travion Henderson in that spot. But again, you can't be mad with either one of those guys. I mean, those guys ran like hell. Quinshon's a dog. I say he's skinnier Kareem Hunt. He's more in shape, more physical. Not more physical, but the same kind of physical running back as a Kareem Hunt would be. He might be used in the same sort of situations that Kareem Hunt was used in, third and shorts, goal line stints. So I don't hate it. I can't be mad at that one. My favorite pick of the draft is the next one in round 3, only because I'm a little biased. For my hometown, my alma mater, high school, round 3, pick 67, Harold Fannin Jr., tight end from Bowling Green. I love it. I love it. Can't hate it. Bulldogs stand up. 3-3-0 stand up. Harold Fannin, great pick. Addressed another need. Are you noticing the trend here of the Cleveland Browns addressing needs and filling holes and voids that they otherwise haven't in a very long time? The Browns for the last handful of years have been Super Bowl champions on paper, but because they have no depth and forget that football is played on a field with humans and not on a computer with numbers, you need depth to back shit up. Remember that when we get later on. The next pick that we acquired from the Buffalo Bills in the Amari Cooper trade, round 3, number 94, Dillon Gabriel, quarterback, Oregon, the lefty. I grinded some tape on him after the pick in real time. Couldn't believe it. We stopped getting Xavier Watts from Notre Dame was a fucking ball hawk at safety. Was right there. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. We needed safety help. He was the best football player on the board at the time we took Dillon Gabriel. But I believe this is a Stefanski pick. I think Stefanski finally got a quarterback of his liking. He wasn't forced one upon him. He finally was able to handpick a guy that he thinks can play in this league. So, again, TBD, lefty. My brother was like, Kevin's a sick fuck for taking a lefty off the board. Fucking Cavs win, by the way, 138-83. The sweep is over. Cavs frog, let's fucking go. 4-0 in the offs. We will see y'all, whoever wins the Milwaukee-Indiana series. Come on, get it. Y'all are next, but Broom's out. Fuck you, Miami. And, yeah, we'll talk more about that at a later date. But where was I? Yeah, Dillon Gabriel, watch the tape. He's very business-like. And what I mean by that is when he stands in the pocket, his feet, every quarterback's feet will tell you a story. And it will tell you the story of, 1, how confident they are. 2, if they understand what the play is and what they're doing. And 3, are they comfortable with where they are? And his feet are they're like Will Howard's in a way where he if one thing ain't there, bang, it's just moving. It's not happy, it's not jumpy, it's bang 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 bang. First read not open, second read is this guy should be open on this side. He makes throws with all get out. I don't hate it. Again, if it works out, great. If not, oh well. He's a 3rd round pick that wasn't even ours to begin with. The next one, running back, round 4, pick 126. Another pick we got from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Running back Dylan Sampson from the University of Tennessee. Addressed another need. Kind of figured we were going to take 2 running backs in this draft regardless. Looks good in orange already. TBD on that one. And the pick that I'm sure you've all heard about by now. It is the 5th round, pick number 144, that the Cleveland Browns traded up to go get quarterback Shedeur Sanders from Colorado. Now, I've been on record on this show talking about how, you don't take Shedeur Sanders at 2, and Shedeur Sanders really not even being a 1st round pick. I love him in this spot. Getting him as a 5th rounder after you already got a guy. This was clearly Jimmy's pick. This was clear. This has got Jimmy Haslam's name all over it at this point. And you can read into what you saw in the draft room and all that shit. If you watch the vlogs, I watched all the vlogs of Shador and his family going through this process. And getting him in this spot and hopefully motivating him to fall in love with football, I love it. I really do. I think, and again, as I said, this is all with a grain of salt. You know, anything is possible. These are all rookies, guys that have never put on the pads in the men's league before. What if Shador puts in the work and his processing gets better and better, and he's able to watch and learn under guys like Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett. Take for what you will with Kenny Pickett, but the guy's won football games in this league before. Granted, it's the mediocre Pittsburgh Steelers that he took to the playoffs, but he still got the job done. Might not like it, but hey, I see what they did in this draft. They addressed a lot of needs. Again, if you were gonna take Shador Sanders in the 5th round, why take Dylan Gabriel there? Go get Xavier Watts, and then you get the ball. But again, at the same time, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, and them are where they are, and I'm at where I'm at, talking to a microphone, basically to nobody. And I really like Shador Route 5 144. It's got bookmark that one. I'm sure everybody has, but that one's got the potential to be really, really juicy, as I'm sure you fucking know. But I'm just going to go through and read you quick player profiles on all the guys. Mason Graham, who we picked in the 1st round. Graham played 3 seasons at Michigan, appearing in 39 career games. Over the course of his collegiate career, Graham recorded 108 tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, 3 passes defensed, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 forced fumble. Carson Schlesinger from UCLA. Schlesinger played 3 seasons for UCLA and appeared in 38 career games. He recorded 163 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 passes defensed, and 1 forced fumble. The next running back, Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State. Judkins spent the first 2 seasons of his collegiate career at Ole Miss, where he totaled 545 carries for 2,725 rushing yards and 31 touchdowns. In addition, he also added 37 receptions for 281 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. This is all still at Ole Miss. During his freshman year in 2022, Judkins led the SEC with 274 carries, 1,567 rushing yards, and 16 rushing touchdowns. Harold Fannin Jr.'s profile, tight end, Bowling Green. Fannin, who is from Canton, Ohio, and went to McKinley Senior High School, brings that local connection to the Browns. He played 3 seasons at Bowling Green and appeared in 36 career games. He totaled 180 receptions for 2,396 receiving yards and 17 touchdowns. He also added 33 carries for 159 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel, round 3, quarterback, Oregon. Gabriel spent his first 3 seasons at UCF, where he completed 554 of 913 passing attempts for 8,037 yards and 70 touchdowns. He then transferred to Oklahoma beginning in 2022 and played 2 seasons. Gabriel completed 496 of 751 passing attempts for 6,828 yards and 55 touchdowns. Next one, running back Dylan Sampson, Tennessee, 4th round, pick 126. Sampson spent 3 years at Tennessee and played in 35 games, totaling 422 carries for 2,492 yards, 5.9 yards per carry, and 35 touchdowns. He became that lead back his senior season in 2024 and took 258 carries for 1,491 yards and 22 touchdowns, which led to him becoming the SEC Offensive Player of the Year and earning 2nd-team All-American honors. And finally, pick 144, 5th round, quarterback Shador Sanders, Colorado. Sanders spent his first two college seasons at Jackson State before transferring to Colorado, where he totaled 7,364 passing yards, 64 touchdowns, 13 interceptions in his final two college seasons. Sanders, who was coached by his dad and NFL Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, now known as Coach Prime, was a second-team All-American and Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year in 2024 after completing 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions in 2024. That's a quick player profile on all the Cleveland Browns draft picks. I really like what we did. Again, this is all TBD. I love the depth at quarterback now that I'm thinking about it. I'm talking about it out loud. They learned from their mistake last season by not having enough guys on the roster just in case guys go down. Again, this is a game played on a field with humans that's basically humans doing car crashes against each other. Guys are going to get hurt. It's football. So you need to have depth. They're going at that depth. There we go. Said that a little better this time. I love it. I think they crushed it. Personally, Harold Fannin, my favorite pick. I think Shedeur Sanders is going to end up being the face of the franchise. I think there's no way around that. I think at some point you will see him in meaningful games. And I just wanted to be on the record. I am going to be one of the biggest Jacksonville Jaguar haters there is. So, fuck Jacksonville. Go Browns. I'll probably see y'all Thursday where we'll catch up on everything. All right, let's do that. Let's set it up. Thursday, you'll probably hear it Friday, but maybe Thursday, but we'll see. We'll catch up. So until then, everybody stay safe. Go sports, baby.